Hi everyone, welcome to the Student Group Leader Orientation video. This video is intended to guide you on the general rules and regulations of being a SGA recognized student group. We're going to go over how to reserve rooms, how to put events on the SGA calendar, the general budget principles, how to request more funds, and how to put in requests for reimbursements, as well as how to find various things on the SGA website. My name is Molly Kaplan. I'm the Student Groups Liaison on SGA Executive Board. You can always contact me with any questions regarding student groups. I have here with me Jeremy, who is the SGA Treasurer, and Leo, who is our SGA Tech Officer. And you can find our contact information on the SGA website. So just a general overview. So by holding a leadership position at Drexel, you're responsible for the exposure that your fellow students are getting to the subject matter. So this is a big responsibility, and by holding a leadership position, you have to live up to that role in order to maintain SGA's active status and in order to maintain that title as a student group leader. In particular, for specialty interest groups, our students may not be exposed to many different things in the field in their clerkships, and our goal is that any interest that any student has, from plastic surgery to anesthesiology to endocrinology, we have representation on our campus. And our Student Affairs Office and Career Development Centers really rely on our specialty interest groups to introduce the general student body to various specialties and subspecialties. This can be in the form of speakers, shadowing opportunities, volunteer work, research, whatever it may be. If a student has an interest, they should be able to contact their group leader for that specialty and figure out at least where to get started. And interest groups are often the first point of contact for students who want to see a particular specialty. For other groups, community service organizations, sports, various hobbies, by holding that position, you are responsible for the exposure that anyone has to any of these hobbies or volunteer opportunities. So we expect a certain level of presence and of active leadership. We've seen in the past some groups sometimes get discouraged or overwhelmed by schoolwork and tend to drop off. We know that schoolwork comes first, but in order to be considered active, you have to be active. So if something comes up and you're not able to hold a leadership position anymore, we recommend contacting us, and we can help find a replacement for a student leader. Communication is really big. We expect student groups to check their official group email accounts and be responsive to communications from SGA, from the administration, from other students via email. So right now, pause this video and go link your student group email to your Gmail, or maybe just bookmark it on your browser so you remember to check it regularly. This is where you'll have all important communication from SGA. Leadership positions look great on a resume, but in order to have that designation, you have to earn it. So this is partially an honor system. We don't really have a way to, totally monitor. We oversee student groups, but it's really up to the groups themselves to be active. But we will be sending out an assessment survey before the December break to assess, group activity and how much has been done so far in the year. And this could affect your ability to request more funding in the future. We realize that this looks different for different groups. Some sports teams might not play until the spring. Some volunteer groups go once a week, some once a month, and that's okay. We know not all groups are the same, and we'll work with everyone, but we just want to make sure that groups are fulfilling their mission. So a little bit about the listserv policy. Groups are only permitted to use the official class listservs one time per semester. So we recommend collecting email addresses at the activities fair, through your first email blast. At any events you can have a sign-up sheet, and that way you can add those emails to your email directory and use that for advertising your events. Other ways to advertise your events would be the Web Campus main page, the Queen Lane screens around the school, and then class Facebook pages. And there are some exceptions to this rule, such as PABC, HOP, and SGA, and you can find those exceptions on the SGA website. Picking a date for your event. So we recommend checking the SGA calendar for the class exams for all different classes and for other scheduled events from other groups. And you're required to register your event on the SGA calendar in order to receive funding from that event. And Leo will come on and show you how to do that at the end of this video. For reserving a room, you're going to use the Astra scheduling link, and you have to log in with your Drexel One username and password. If you log in as a guest, you will not be able to create the reservation. And make sure you hit the green Create button after selecting your date and time. And then here's the contact information here if you need to modify your event or if you have any issues. For reserving a table outside of the cafeteria, this is also something that needs to be reserved because we've often had several groups trying to use the tables at once, and we also need to let facilities know ahead of time if somebody's going to be using that space. So there's a link on the SGA website, and just allow 2 to 4 days for approval, and you'll be good to go. Okay, now for general budget information.
Hi, I'm Jeremy Parsons, and I'm the SGA Treasurer. I'm going to go over some budget information as well as tell you how to apply for reimbursement. Some general budget information. To get funds from SGA, you must register with the group's liaison, Molly, who just told you how to do that. Each group will get a predetermined amount each year. This amount changes each year, and I'll send out an email to each group telling you how much you're approved for. This amount of funds is available throughout the whole year. Events that you plan must be open to all DUCOM students. Budgeted money that you've received this year, this will not roll over to the next year if you don't use it all. It's a use it or lose it policy. The exception to this is if you've raised funds during the year and you place it on account with SGA. This money does roll over each year because it's your money that you can use for whatever purpose. We do suggest that you co-sponsor events with another group. This will actually increase the amount available for that event. If during the year your group needs more money for events that you have planned, you can request more money with a budget request form. This is an Excel file that I'll be sending out. All requests will be reviewed and discussed by the SGA Executive Council prior to approval. All requests must be complete, itemized, and include all pertinent information relevant for the increase in funds. Please include anything planned in the pre-approved funding from the previous slide. Only request money for events that you really believe you will hold this year and give reasonable estimates for expenses. You can make this request at any time during the year, but please allow 2 weeks for processing, for review and approval from the board. This is the budget request form for this year. It's broken down into 4 sections: general meetings, external speakers, conferences, and miscellaneous items. For the general meetings, please list out a description of the event, how many people you are expecting, and this will populate an amount that's available, determined by the expected attendance. Internal speaker gifts, these are capped at $25 per person. Gift cards are not acceptable. External speakers usually require a stipend, and we cap this amount at $250. There's paperwork that needs to be filled out, so please talk to Mike Lombardo in the Student Affairs Office for more information. Groups are allowed to send 4 students per semester to a conference. This can be 2 students to 2 conferences or 4 students to 1 conference. The cap amount is $250 per student. This is to cover flight, land transportation, hotel, and conference fees. The 4th section is miscellaneous items that doesn't fit in the previous 3 sections. This table outlines the funds available for events. We use these caps to help spread the funds around all groups. For example, if your event is going to have about 12 people, you can use up to $55 for food, supplies, or whatever you need for that event. Please try to adhere to these guidelines. We understand that sometimes you need additional funds, and so let me know ahead of time if you're going to need more than what's listed here. Now I'm going to talk about how to get reimbursed. There's an online form on the SGA website that you can fill out. This will give me the information about the event, the group, the amount spent, and where to send the check. Include all of your receipts, your RSVP lists, and your sign-in sheets in one file, as this is the limitation to the system. As Molly said before, events must be listed on the SGA calendar to be eligible for reimbursement. If I go onto the calendar and I don't see your event listed, you will not get reimbursed. Allow up to 6 weeks for processing. As a final note, taxes on purchases are never reimbursed, but there is a tax-exempt request form on the SGA website where you can send me the information for the event, and I will send you a tax-exempt certificate that you can use for your purchase beforehand. Just some tips on preparing a budget. A good rule of thumb to follow is if you were to give somebody a list of items and get exactly what you wanted. In other words, we want to see as complete a list as possible. Please provide a detailed and itemized budget for if you're increasing funds that includes the exact cost of each item. State the number of items that's going to be purchased, but be prepared to answer questions that we may have. Try not to round prices. If an item's going to cost $1.99, don't ask for $2. Inquire if food from a restaurant, if plates, napkins, and utensils are provided at no cost, as this will help cut down any use of your funds. Make sure you are not requesting tax dollars back in your reimbursement. If you do, your request will be automatically reduced by that amount. But delivery fees and modest tips can also be reimbursed. Make sure you make a note on the receipts. Now, here's Leo.
Hi, Leo. I'm the Student Government Tech Officer. I'm just going to be going over how to get to some of the links that the other two talked about. To get to the student groups and organization, you have three options. You can either click up here at the top of the page. That's always here no matter how far you scroll. You can click here for the Ducombe Student Groups email. It's the same link. Or you can click here. All the links take you to the same spot, and it'll take you here, the Ducombe Student Organizations page. Here is going to be where most of your information and your resources are going to be taking you. We're going to start with how to get to reserve one of the cafe tables. During lunchtime, you can have your group sit out there so that you can advertise whatever you need advertised. You're going to be clicking on this link, and it'll take you to this page here. All these links here, they're going to be monitored by Molly Kaplan, which you just saw. To submit something there, you're going to click on this link, and you're just going to submit a reservation. And that is going to take you to this page where you can submit a cafeteria table. From there, she'll, by hand, approve it and then put it on the website here, and she'll also send you a confirmation email. The next thing that we're going to be talking about is how to actually reserve a room. That button's going to take you from over here, and it's going to take you to this website here. It's an Astra website. You actually have to log in. You can see I'm logged in already up here. What you have to do is click on calendar. And from there, it gets a little complicated, unfortunately, and the site is not very slow. You're going to be clicking on scheduling grids up in the top left. And what you want to do is click it by week so you can see by week, because unless you know the specific day and time, week also shows that. What you want to do is click on the search button here and make sure when you click this plus button, you select QL. That's for Queen Lane. Because if you don't have to select it, you're also going to be seeing everything from the main campus down in Center City. So once you select that, you can hit search, and what you see here is the date that you're searching. So it's going to show you the week here. Let's say you want to, and this is all the rooms available in Queen Lane. So let's say you want to reserve the SAC for whatever reason for your group. What you want to do is you want to find the SAC, your SAC A and SAC B. You just click on it, and it'll show you all the times that somebody has this room reserved. So these are times that it's not available to you. So for example, if you want it on Friday the 8th, you see that it only becomes available at 2:30. And now you can go ahead and actually reserve the room. The room reservation is via events. You click there, and then you can, it's pretty self-explanatory how to actually reserve a room. But this is going to be important to making sure that your room is actually available to you. The next thing we're going to be talking about is microphone and projectors. Most rooms have a projector, and most rooms have a microphone that you can actually reserve. To do that, you're going to have to contact Lori O'Connell. This information is right here on the website, the same site that you actually clicked on to get to that Astra website. And you have to contact Lori O'Connell. You have to ask her if you want to have a wireless microphone and if you need the projector running, because they have to set that up before time. Now, if you want to have a group event that's not in one of the rooms, what you can do is actually email me, the tech officer. The email is on the front page of the SGA website, and I can give you a projector, a screen, and like an AV set, which includes a microphone, and 2 big speakers. And with those, you'll be able to actually project it anywhere you want. Or let's say you need an extra monitor or projector in a room that already has one, you can also do it this way. So contacting me, I'll set up a reservation for you, and you'll get some help in a little email that has a video link that shows you how to set it up. If you also need help on site, we also have the on-site tech officer who can help you out with that also. Finally, if you forget anything that I just said, clicking on this link here will take you to the Student Organization Information Packet. This is the old one. It will be updated. Everything I'm saying is going to be here. This is curated by Molly, so if there's any issues, you can email her. And as far as emailing me, this is my email here that you can contact. And if you want to reserve either the speakers, which are very loud like professional speakers, or the projector with a projector screen that you can set up anywhere you'd like. Next thing we're going to be talking about is reimbursements. You see there's a link here for that, and that's going to take you to this website that's curated by Jeremy. If you need reimbursement for one of your events, you just click here, fill this out, and upload it, and you can also take a picture of whatever receipt you have, click here, or drop the file so that he can approve it, and you can get your reimbursements. These take approximately 2 weeks to fully get through. As if you have set up with a bill pay, with Drexel, they go a lot faster. You can go direct in your account. Otherwise, you'll be getting a check through the email. The last thing we're going to be talking about is the events calendar. So right here, you're going to be seeing any events that are taking place that are not exactly school related, like studies, are going to be shown here, and they're going to be updated live. If you want to set up an event, what you're going to be doing is you're going to be clicking this link here. This link is going to take you to this really kind of old looking website. You're going to click add event, and from there you can actually fill out a little thing here. You have to make sure you put your email, and these two, the title and the description, is going to be what everyone sees. So you want to fill this out so that when people see this, they can get an idea of what's going on, because people check these event calendars to see what's going on around the school. You tell you the time. If you have image, you can add an image, and then hit save. They go straight to me. Once I approve them, they show up in the calendar immediately. To actually plan an event, though, you have to make sure that there's not already an event going on. The best way to do that is to go back to the student organizations page, and what you're going to see here is the Do Come exam calendar. Right now it's empty because the school year hasn't started yet, but all the exams are going to be shown up here. So what you can do is check this whenever you want to have an event, make sure there's no exam, or find the exam farthest away from all the different classes and years, and plan your event then. Then you can go back and do the room reservation, and after that you're going to finally go back into the event page, the one we talked about here, add an event so that everyone can see that you added the event.